the HealthForce podcast. Welcome back. RamsdenEliteFitness.com or RamsdenEliteFitness.com. If any of you saw my little teaser video that I threw up on our social media pages concerning these fanatics that want to make these concoctions, these disgusting drinks that sound like dog poop, and want to promote them as some sort of health mystery. Oh, this drink is so mysterious. It's so healthy for you. It's never been covered by anybody. We're going to lead off today's program with a video from an individual. He's a celebrity personal trainer, yada yada. He's been on the magazine cover. But he's also a member of the fanatic health movement. So as we go through today's podcast, again, look for those signs that we have now crafted. I think we were at the point in this podcast, and if you're a new listener, I encourage you to go back and listen to some of the previous podcasts, including the Food Babe, some of the ones dealing with egg yolk, artificial sweeteners. Go ahead and take a listen to some of our older programs. We have begun in those episodes to lay out the case, to create an argument, and to identify what we call here the fanatic, the health fanatic. For those of you who have listened and are now aware of what we're looking for these individuals that essentially base their entire argument and opinions in pseudoscience. There is no evidence to suggest the claims that they make. That's the first and foremost warning sign. Number two, they're always selling something. They are making their livelihood around this. Maybe it's a 7-day program they're looking to sell. Maybe it's a supplement. Maybe it's a website subscription. Maybe they're like Dr. Oz. They get a TV contract that constantly talk about this stuff. But it always seems that they have their living around these basic pseudoscience ideas. Another characteristic, number three, they are very dramatic, because they have to instill emotions inside of the end user in order for you to believe their argument. So they're going to scare you with health stats. They're going to scare you with symptoms that may actually be normal health symptoms. And my friend here will rattle some off in the video once we begin to play this. But some symptoms that they're claiming are like these, oh, these are so detrimental to you. They're acting like it's like you've just been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and you've got 3 days to live. That's how they present their argument, as if, oh my God, did you see Jimmy the other day? Jimmy, shh, don't tell anybody. Jimmy, he had a headache. Oh, he got a what? A headache? He must not be drinking his lemon water. Oh, well, Jimmy, that's, okay. I mock them, but my point remains the same. This is how they communicate. They want to talk to you like you're in first grade. They want to dumb down the science. They essentially reject modern science in its entirety. But let's listen to my man here, Thomas DeLauer. You know where I found this guy? On a Facebook ad. I tell you what, these guys are, nowadays with social media and the way that the social media platforms actually track your behavior, it's never made it easier for somebody to promote their BS to somebody who has interest in the same field. So, of course, my Facebook is polluted with these fools. So this is like one of the first things I saw this morning. And, I mean, right out of the get-go, I said, come on, man. I just woke up. Or should I say, like the fanatics say, I was suffering from fatigue this morning, and the first thing I got to deal with is this guy. All right? So we're going to go and play this video. It's called, I Drink This... I drink this every morning and feel great all day. As you can tell, he is very, very smart. I'm sure he has his IQs. It's definitely 3 digits, right? He doesn't sound like he's a 2-digit IQ, does he? No, I drink this every morning and feel great all day. Love the marketing, pal. Here we go. My man, Thomas DeLauer.
consume in the morning can dictate a lot of how your body feels. So if you're someone that deals with fatigue, or you deal with joint pain, or you deal with brain fog.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. The list, the rattling off of symptoms that accomplish two things. Number one, they hit almost every single one of us. Who in the hell in the audience does not suffer from fatigue, joint pain? What was the other one? Brain fog. Brain fog's a funny one. We'll have to set aside an entire program to go over this myth of brain fog and what it what it actually is. But you see how they package things like fatigue and make it sound like it's very debilitating, right? That's the second part of it. So the first part is they're going to name symptoms that all of us have. We all suffer from fatigue at some point or another. And then the second part is then they want to twist it so that it's like this diabolical symptom that nobody should ever have. Oh my God, you're tired? Oh, did you sleep 10 hours last night? No, Christopher, I actually only slept 5 because I have to get up and go to work because I have a job. And you know, when I'm done with my 10-hour day, then I go to the gym and then I cook myself some dinner. And by the time it's all said and done, I relax a little bit. I just can only get 5 hours sleep every night. So this fatigue must really be suffering from a major illness. No, that's what happens to most people if you don't sleep a lot and you work really hard or you have a very stressful job. It's pretty normal to feel fatigue. So the fact that this guy is going to tell me how he's going to solve the world's problems, how everybody now just follows his lead, just do what he does, drink his drink, and none of us will ever feel fatigued again. We can sleep off 2 hours of sleep and we won't have fatigue.
Or maybe you're having issues absorbing nutrients. This might be the perfect drink. So you're going to start with about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
Now, first of all, what is our obsession, both as the consumer, which would be most of you in the audience, the consumers of products, and then also the promoters of these products? So this would be like my friend Thomas, who is promoting this drink. What is our obsession with finding these really obscure ingredients and thinking it's cool because nobody else really does it? And to make my point, I would illustrate protein powder, okay? If I'm going to promote something like protein powder nowadays is boring by all measures. Everybody knows there's protein powders, there's a million different kinds. Yeah, I have my morning shake, or I have my post-workout protein shake. That's normal, that's boring. No, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch Tommy talk about acid cider vinegar. That's the good stuff. Nobody does that. Why are we drawn to that? Just because it's different? I can't for the love of me figure it out, because even the majority of the fanatic health advice or for weight loss advice is very radical. It's paleo diet. It's intermittent fasting. It's things that are complicated, advanced techniques, hard to do, when really we should be talking about, hey, let's exercise a little bit more and let's stop eating so much fast food or so much bad food. Let's just start there. Oh, because that's boring, Fran. Don't you know? We need to sell drinks to get people excited about our product because it doesn't really deliver results, so we just need to get the hype up. For once, I ask you in the audience, please start thinking about these sort of things. This guy is essentially doing a commercial. It sounds like a commercial. It looks like a commercial. Let's think for a second. When somebody goes right into this sort of BS pattern, let's start to recognize it as is. Not, if they pull up an obscure ingredient like apple cider vinegar or lemon juice or cinnamon, and they put it into water and they say, drink this will solve all your problems. Let's start thinking about it. Let's start using our brains. Is this really going to do something? If this is, why is it not mainstream advice? Why are we talking about this on a Facebook ad by some guy who, I've never heard of him. I'm sure most of us have never heard of him. Continue with the video.
The acid in the apple cider vinegar basically helps neutralize stomach acid and helps.
And what do I care about that? Oh my God, the apple cider vinegar neutralizes the stomach acid. Hey pal, you do understand that stomach acid is there for a reason? To digest things, break things down, to kill bacteria before it gets into the gut where things are absorbed. Do you understand basic let's do this, maybe not first grade, 3rd grade biology, human anatomy? There's supposed to be stomach acid in your stomach. I don't want to neutralize it. God, I've got a ton of research that we're going to go over here. And actually, maybe when I say a ton, I mean lack thereof. On apple cider vinegar and this obsession with alkaline diets, which is what he's alluding to here about balancing your pH in the body and not eating acidic foods, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that. I've got some research for him, but let's try to get through this video. But honestly, I'm 40 seconds in and it's painful as hell. I'm already here on edge, feeling my blood pressure rise. Let's have him continue.
Level out the pH. Next, we're going to add just about a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Hey, so we're going to consume items so that our stomach really doesn't produce enough acid. You know, things that would cause acid reflux, like cayenne pepper, like hot sauce. Oh, what? So much for that stomach acid. Just.
This is going to help the metabolism out. Next, we're going to add a little bit of turmeric, just about a half a teaspoon of that. That is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories known naturally. Next, we're going to add about a quarter teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. What that's going to do is help the adrenals out.
Besides the massive amount of pseudoscience going on right now, does anybody else find this beverage to be very delicious? Does this sound enticing to you? Just curious. Hey, whatever you guys are into. If you guys like drinking a pink Himalayan salt, cayenne pepper, acid cider vinegar, turmeric beverage every morning, hey, go to town. Go to town. Just don't get into the habit like this fella where you think that this is going to be some mysterious magical drink for you and that it's worth choking down. I can assure you, as the research we will lay out here in the rest of this episode, this is doing nothing for you. My advice has been consistent on breakfast since the beginning of time, since I've been alive. You get it. I'm being dramatic, folks. My advice has been the same for people. Start your morning with either a protein shake. It's nice. It's easy. It's easy to grab and go. And it gets you some protein first thing in the morning. Or have some eggs, some bacon, some toast. You know, be normal. Don't get the donuts, the pastries, the bear claws, the bagels, the massive amounts of fast food breakfast sandwiches. You know, those things are bad for you. You guys gotta be simple. You don't need to create this beverage here. It sounds absolutely atrocious.
So you can process those kinds of things better. Now, when you have
those kinds of things, so specific, and another quality that these guys have. Oh, they just help process everything. Yeah, they just everything that happens, it's just better. Thanks. So specific.
Powerful anti-inflammatory drink. And when you can help yourself reduce inflammation, especially in the morning, you can make it so that you can absorb nutrients better. Because
oh my God, this inflammation, I'm having a hard time grasping inflammation because now the more I see this inflammation talking point line, the more that I notice most people now are trying to get ahead of the curve because the first obvious question that you ask anybody when they try to make a claim like this about inflammation is, what inflammation are you talking about? Can you be specific? What is going wrong in my body that you can help cure me of? What's the big problem, pal? Now we're starting to see the fanatics immediately dip into the, whoa, yay, didn't you know that there's both acute and chronic inflammation? And everybody thinks of acute inflammation, but they don't think of chronic inflammation. And I'm so smart. And yes, there are many things that can cause body harm. And just drink this one drink, this anti-inflammatory drink, and you will have no more inflammation in your body, and all your wounds and all of your illnesses will be healed. Come on, folks. Oh, if you drink this, everything is healed, everything's better, and you absorb everything. It's just great. It's just good.
If you have inflammation within the digestive tract, it can make it so you're not absorbing nutrients, even from the healthy foods that you're eating. So if you click on the link, I'll explain a little bit more about how inflammation can be affecting you and how absorbing more of your nutrients can help you live the best life possible. I'll see you on the next page.
All right. Well, there he is. And there's the little commercial. We wrap up the commercial, and what is it? It's a link to another website. Oh, now this website's not going to be a sales page, is it? Let's follow along, folks. I'll take you through this little journey. Let's see where it goes. Oh, the link, organichealthprotocol.com. Ooh, it sounds so smart. And, oh, it's a video. Let me just have 10 seconds of this video. So it links to a website, and here's the video at the top.
It's time to talk about inflammation.
No, it's not. Okay, let's continue on. Oh, it says, the very first words of print on the page, folks. It says, what is your one food holding you back? Start reaching your goals today. Add to cart for $7. Do you want in for just $7? Oh, it's a sales page, folks. It's a typical full-on sales page where you scroll down for what seems like an eternity, where he's trying to tell you all stuff's great. Oh, it's so good. Here's my story. Here's how it helps you. Oh, look, you don't believe me? Here's the research. Wait, just kidding. There is no research, so I'm going to instead put anecdotal testimonials up. Here you go. Everybody else is telling me that it works. Oh, this is great. It's a total value of $197, but I'm only going to give it to you for $7. Now, stop for 1 second. If somebody has something worth $197, if that's the value of something, and they're selling it to you for $7, does anybody else think of the fake jewelry salesman that you see at the gas station? Anybody else, or is it just me? You got all this knowledge, you got all this wealth, $197, that's what it costs, but you're going to give it to me for $7? Come on, folks, this is first grade sales class stuff. I'm repulsed by it. I know many of my audience are repulsed by it as well. You don't want to be sold the snake oil stuff. You're not into that. You don't want to be told how great of a deal it is. Oh, trust me, this heals everything. You don't want to be told like that. You think more than Thomas DeLauer does. You use your brain. You're not after something. You're not selling something. Your livelihood doesn't depend upon being a fanatic and preaching these inflammatory blah 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 and all this generic nonsense that you can't back up. You're not into that stuff. If you go to his YouTube page, or actually if you go to YouTube and put in his name, let me just read you some of the titles of his videos. And the only reason I'm doing this, okay, look, I don't know the guy. I don't care. I just told you at the beginning of this. These guys are so interchangeable, and ladies, there are fanatical ladies, they're so interchangeable, it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. So like today's episode, it's not even so much about Thomas DeLauer. I don't care about Thomas DeLauer. It's about the apple cider vinegar. It's about the inflammation. It's about the information. So don't get me wrong. I'm not picking on the guy. I'm just using him as an example. This is all his content. I'm doing nothing but presenting it to you. Yes, I'll give my little bit of commentary on it, but it's him talking. So if you think it's ridiculous, then he's ridiculous. It's the end of it. Here are some of the titles of his other videos, and you tell me if they're after these headline clicking. They call it clickbait. You know that? Clickbait. These trying to get the clicks, trying to get the views, and then they're going to sell you a product. Thomas DeLauer's top 3 fat-burning foods plus his lean green smoothie recipe. How to burn fat in the morning, a health hack. How to eat fruit, minimize carbs, lose weight, boost energy. How to cheat on your diet. How to fight adrenal fatigue. How to use apple cider vinegar. The simple science of losing fat. Is dairy holding you back? Look, see, so it's just propaganda after propaganda. There's it's all designed to get you to click to watch the little video. And at the end of the video, he tells you to click on this other website. You click on that website, it goes to a sale page for $7, where 1% of you buy. And if he gets 1 million views, well, 1% of 1 million sells it for $7. There you go. Oh boy. Now, is anybody else? Let me ask. I'm going to do a quick little questionnaire for you guys here to see if you suffer from some of these debilitating syndromes right now, these different symptoms. Does anybody else have a headache right now? Is anybody else, do their abs hurt from laughing? Oh, how about, are you having problems with your mental capacity to believe other individuals push this kind of content? Oh! Maybe we need to get on the pink Himalayan, cayenne, whatever, super beverage then. Okay, enough. Moving on. Vinegar. I wanted to get into this because there's hardly anything on PubMed, okay? And if you remember what PubMed's a database of research studies, and that's an actual credible source to find content, not going to a YouTube page of some random celebrity or some random personal trainer. It's much better to go to the source, look at what's been put out there, look at review studies of multiple individual studies to come up with a consensus. That's what's important here. So in front of me, I have found vinegar. I have found a review on vinegar, the medicinal uses, and the anti-glycemic effect. Okay, so again, they're going to be analyzing how vinegar affects as a medicinal use, and then also as effect on blood sugar, which is the anti-glycemic effect. And this this review here is 66 sources that they went to. Okay. It kind of sets the stage a little bit. I'm not going to read the first paragraph about the abstract. It kind of just says, look, vinegar's been around forever. People have used it as far as like 200 BC, 400 BC. They've used it, as like a topical ointment. You put it on your skin. They've put it in teas. It's been used around forever. It's not like vinegar is brand new, okay? Talks a little bit about production, how it's made, the fermenting process, on and on. Talks a little bit about the anti-infective properties, how it's been researched and studied for wounds. Then there's some cardiovascular studies, anti-tumor studies, and then blood glucose control studies. Okay, it's a very long, as you would expect, a long review. Talks about the safety of vinegar. Obviously, it's safe. I'm going to read to you the summary conclusion of the study. I should give them some credit here. Let's scroll back up. It's called Vinegar, Medicinal Uses and Anti-Glycemic Effect by Carol S. Johnston and Cindy Gase. This was performed and published online in 2006. Here we go. For more than 2,000 years, vinegar has been used to flavor and preserve food, heal wounds, fight infection, clean surfaces, and manage diabetes. Although vinegar is highly valued as a culinary agent, where some varieties of vinegar costing $100 per bottle, much scrutiny surrounds its medicinal use. Scientific investigations do not support the use of vinegar as an anti-infective agent, either topically or orally. So, folks, if you have an infection, don't go to your drawer, get apple cider vinegar, and put apple cider vinegar on your wound. Okay? Evidence linking vinegar use to reduce risk of hypertension and cancer is equivocal. Okay? So, if you have hypertension, or if you're developing cancer, or had cancer, or recovering from cancer, don't think that apple cider vinegar is going to cure it. There is no evidence to suggest that. Okay? And then they give a little blurb here at the end. And says, however, many recent scientific investigations have documented that vinegar ingestion reduces glucose response to a carbohydrate load in healthy adults and individuals with diabetes. There's also some evidence that vinegar ingestion increases short-term satiety. Future investigations are needed to delineate the mechanism by which vinegar alters postprandial, whatever. Vinegar is widely available, it is affordable, and as a remedy, it is appealing. But whether vinegar is a useful adjunct therapy for individuals with diabetes or prediabetes has yet to be determined. Okay, so to wrap it up for you, looking at a lot of research, yes, some individual studies may show it may be effective here, it may be effective there. The overall consensus is there needs to be way more research done before they come out and make a declaration that apple cider vinegar does anything for you in terms of medicinal or anti-glycemic effect. Which is, and give me 1 second here, I want to explain this whole science thing and why I'm reading science to you, okay? When it comes time to make a health claim or a supplement claim, okay, such as any individual that wants to say apple cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar lowers your stomach acid, therefore it lowers your blood sugar, therefore it's less acidic, therefore there's less inflammation, therefore you're healthy. Okay, anybody that wants to do that, the proof of the proof is on them to make that, to show the truth. It's on them. It's not on us. It's not on everybody else to prove them wrong. I don't need to go out and prove wrong that apple cider vinegar doesn't do anything. That's not my role. I don't need to do that. They have to tell us why it's right. Does that make sense, everybody? And that's the way it works with everything across the board, with commonly proven, long-held beliefs about anything, really. I mean, you could get into politics, you could talk about history, you could talk about money, you can talk about, it's not just health and fitness, but anything where there is a long-accepted opinion and it's well demonstrated through science and research. It's not up for them to keep explaining to everybody else why it's successful. No, you've got to disprove them then. So I'm demonstrating, even though it doesn't, like the research that I'm reading doesn't say apple cider vinegar does 0, throw it away. I'm not even claiming that. I'm just saying this does not show these massive health benefits that the fanatics are claiming. And that's the key. Ifo facto, you're wrong, son. All right, moving on, folks. I'm trying to have a little bit of fun today. I am. I'm trying to have a little bit of fun. Sometimes when I'm reading these or watching these videos and listening to these other individuals, I almost do want to have a migraine come on, because it's just looking at their reasoning skills. They're virtually are inexistent. They're just like reading off scripts. They're just reading their favorite articles. It's like a little circle of these guys, and they all just read each other's articles like, oh yeah, this guy said cinnamon works, so it definitely works. Like, I don't understand how individuals could base their opinions upon that little information, that little evidence, that little research. InsufferableTolerance.com. There is an article that we're going to wrap up with. It is absolutely hilarious. I ask that you all stick through this. We're almost finished. Talks about the alkaline diet. It is called The Alkaline Diet Fad and the People Who Never Took High School Biology. Hold on. I screwed it up. Let me try it again. The Alkaline Diet Fad and the People Who, in parentheses, never took high school biology, close quote, love it. This is November 2014. The author's pseudonym is Raine, R-A-Y-N-E. Now, there is some coarse language in here. I will be doing a self-censorship of most of it. I may allow a nice, primely timed emphasis word to happen. So if there are kids in the car, you're around individuals, or you're somewhere where it's inappropriate, by all means turn it down, pause it, come back to it later. But I'm going to go ahead now and read this very nice point. And this guy makes not only is this a scientific article and demonstrates intelligence, but it's also humorous. And I've always got to give people that can do that 2 thumbs up. As my fellow science warrior readers know, I love learning. Learning kicks arse. Maybe he's Scottish. It means I get an upgrade in knowledge and a downgrade in BS, especially if someone corrects me. And today, I have learned. The latest trend in alternative medicine and fad dieting is the idea that consuming a quote-unquote pH balancing diet and quote-unquote alkalizing your body, which is the process of altering your blood pH through a change in diet to make it more alkaline, close quote, can cure illness, that it can make you healthier and cleanse your body. The fad hasn't been around long, thank F, but it has definitely taken the scientifically illiterate world by storm, and people have made a profit out of it. Amen, brother. I am there with you on that one. It's like high schools don't even have science classes anymore. Firstly, before we get into the nuts and bolts of why the alkaline diet is complete crap, let's look at what pH levels are. Okay, I love this. See, this is great. Anytime that you're having to discuss a subject and you feel like you really shouldn't have to get into this in a deep detail because it's like 3rd grade science class, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's boil it down. Let's get really simple. I see the fanatics raise, and I will call and re-raise you, sir, is essentially what we're trying to do. Because we need to dumb it down, not because I don't think the audience, not that none of you can understand it, but you don't need to be complicated. This stuff is so easy and basic. sometimes it's good to go back to third grade chemistry class. So he's going to continue on. He's going to start by explaining what pH really is. In chemistry, the pH of a solution, in case of today's article, it'll be the human body. It is the measurement scale of how acidic or how alkaline that solution is. Now, to get a bit more technical, the pH level of a solution is the measurement of hydrogen ion concentration. The lower the pH score, the more acidic the solution. The higher the hydrogen ion concentration. Now, the higher the pH score, the more alkaline the solution is, and the lower the hydrogen ion concentration is. The pH scale ranges from number 1 to 14, with 1 being strongly acidic and 14 being strongly alkaline. Now, number 7, if anybody could do a math class, I added that. I thought it was funny, is neutral. Anything below 7, ranging from 7 to 6.9, is going to be acidic. Anything above 7 up to 14 is alkaline. Now, as you can see, there's a chart, and he just shows 0 to 14, the chart. All right, nice. The alkaline diet fad promotes the idea that certain foods increase the acidity of your body's pH. Therefore, you need to eliminate those foods altogether and eat only alkaline foods, which somehow balances your pH rather than increasing your pH to strongly alkali. One would think that if you eat nothing but alkaline foods, it would increase the alkaline pH, not keep you at balanced perfect 7. Apple cider vinegar, a type of vinegar made from cider or apple, is a favorite cure-all pushed by peddlers of the alkaline diet fad who believe that diseases and illnesses are caused by the body's pH becoming too acidic. Now, I want to stop for a second because I'm so mad at myself. I exited out of Thomas D. Lauer's Facebook page. On that video, if you were to go scroll through the comments, he receives complaint after complaint from people telling them how bad this thing hurts their stomach. It's hilarious. Some people say, this is gross. Can you make it taste better? I threw up. It's so disgusting. I have stomach cramps now. It's been 7 days. I've developed this pain. And he just kind of like says, oh, maybe you should stop. Maybe you're allergic to something in there. Oh, maybe it's not for you. So stupid. Really is. So I apologize. I really wanted to read some of those comments to you guys from Facebook, but luckily you guys can look them up yourself. They are quite funny. Anyways, back to the article. Even though apple cider vinegar is acidic, it is claimed to release these alkaline bases into the body. Now, like all pseudoscience, the mechanism for how this is done is not really fully explained. One website suggested that the end product of apple cider vinegar alters the pH level of your urine to a more alkaline level. This has an alkalizing effect on the entire body. And continue reading to find out why this is a bunch of BS. Brace yourselves. Now, not surprisingly, websites scaring people with this particular pseudoscience also sell, brace yourselves, I can't believe I'm going to read this, pH testing kits, which typically consists of litmus paper that you place on your tongue or that you take a wee on to test your pH levels. Are we surprised a website scaring you about something is the same site selling you the cure? It's like a salesman stabbing you in the knee to sell you wound dressings. Now, is anybody out there really peeing on a litmus piece of paper and seeing how acidic their bodies are? Forget the fact, and I don't know if this guy is going to go into it or not, but forget the fact that your urine acidity has nothing to do with your body's overall pH balance level. Your blood pH is completely different from your urine pH. Just so you know. I thought I'd throw that in there. Alright, what the pH of the body actually is and why the diet fad is a bunch of S. Different tissues in the body have different pH levels. Okay, so he's going to go into it. Blood has a pH of about 7.4, which is slightly alkaline. The stomach is extremely acidic with a pH around 2. The mouth has a pH that ranges from 5.6 to 6.9. This is the optimal pH range for the enzyme amylase, the active digestive enzyme in saliva. This enzyme kicks off the digestion process. Now, as mentioned above, most of these pH testing kits will test the body's pH level via the saliva in your mouth. This is a clever marketing gimmick designed to scare people into thinking the pH of the body needs somehow adjusted. The pH of your mouth does not reflect the pH levels within the rest of your body. The litmus test used in pH testing kits is useless as an indication of the different pH levels within your body. Beautifully said, my man. Beautifully said. Your body's pH level is carefully maintained via several ways, mainly by the kidneys and the lungs. Blood pH is well maintained within a narrow range of about 7.4. Food starts to be broken down by your saliva, is then swallowed where it enters the stomach. The stomach digests food by using your stomach acid. This is, as the name states, an acidic substance that is unchanged by the pH level in food. The food that leaves your stomach will be acidic, however, when it enters your intestines. Secretions from your pancreas neutralize these stomach acids, and the food becomes alkaline. Is everybody enjoying their third grade science class lesson that, oh, did you know that stomach acid is acidic? And that your mouth and your stomach and your blood, they all have different, acidity levels. They're not all the same. They're not all exactly 7.4. Oh, how? Oh. The alkaline food in your intestines will have no effect on the pH of your blood. This is due to your blood having a number of different pH buffers, which have evolved to tweak the pH level of your blood pH if any deviations happen. A pH buffer solution is one which resists changes in pH when small quantities of an acid or an alkali are added to it. Basically, the buffer is the thing that assists in tweaking the pH level of a solution so that it doesn't become saturated or overloaded. And if anybody understands homeostasis, again, it's another third grade science term, your body does not like change. I mean, this is exactly, you know what this acid, whatever, this alkaline argument reminds me of? Is it'd be like them telling you that when you step outside and it's the middle of winter and you're wearing no clothes, that, you're too cold. You need to warm up and put clothes on. And when you really test the inside of your body, your body wants to resist extreme change, the temperature, right? So just because it's 30 degrees outside, I don't think everybody believes that now it's 30 degrees inside of their body, right? You'd be dead. Okay? There are things that happen inside of your body to react to changes. Likewise, when it's 100 degrees outside and you go stepping outside, it doesn't mean that you're now 100 degrees. Your blood doesn't boil, it doesn't get up to 100 degrees. It doesn't necessarily change heat, with other stimuli. So the fact that just because you eat alkaline foods does not mean it's going to change anything. I hate having to do this, folks, but it really is annoying. I'm going to skip around here a little bit. I'm not going to, I'm going to read the last paragraph, but I encourage you, please check this entire article out. InsufferableIntolerance.com. I like the name of it, and I like the guy's writing style. But the last little paragraph here is why people promote the quackery known as the alkaline diet. One illness promoted as the main reason to change an alkaline diet is acidosis. Acidosis happens when there is an increase in acid in the blood. Now, this illness will make someone intensely ill, and it's a very dangerous situation to be in. Acidosis is a condition that can happen with illnesses such as cancer, respiratory disease, severe diarrhea, diabetes, excessive alcohol use, hypoglycemia, and liver failure, to name a few. The smart cookies over at Pseudoscience University have interpreted this to mean that if you consume the alkaline diet, which they conveniently sell you a book and supplements for the record, it will reduce the risk or even cure the above-mentioned conditions, completely disregarding the fact food cannot change the pH of your body, except it could change your pee, and then that doesn't really affect anything else within your body. They also disregard the fact that body has different levels of pH for different systems, and the reason the body tightly regulates those pH levels without help is because any deviation outside of 0.4 means that you die. The alkaline diet fad is yet another gimmick designed to prey on vulnerable people with illnesses in the never-ending line of a well-meaning but scientifically illiterate people. If you see someone peddling the alkaline diet fad, run and run fast. If you didn't want to read this entire article, one word sums it up, and that's homeostasis. Hats off to him. Great article. Thank you in the audience for listening. I hope you will not now be consuming these salted apple cider vinegar, lemon, cinnamon, nutmeg drinks and think that it's going to, cure you of all inflammation in your body, that you will never get sick again, that you won't ever feel tired again, that it's going to make you healthy, that you'll burn fat. It's all nonsense. Here, I'll spill the beans for you. If you want to feel healthier, if you want to lose some fat, maybe gain a little bit of lean tissue, some lean muscle, have a high protein, moderate carbohydrate, moderate fat diet. Eat probably a little less than you're eating now, especially if you're eating a ton of bad food and eating out a lot. Eat a little bit less and work out a little bit more because you're probably only working out a couple of days, 1, 2, 3 days. Try to get up to 4 or 5. All right? There it is. I said it in a very unexciting manner, but that is the facts. I'm not selling you any crap supplements, all right? Thank you for listening, everybody. Please like our social media pages, Rams Elite Fitness on Facebook. We have our business page there. Please, we do make posts on a regular basis. We'd like you there. And our YouTube page, Rams Elite Fitness is our channel. Please subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode.